cafe anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hello there. How are you doing? Are you in your house? And are you getting sick of people interrupting you while you're working at home? And people are...
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Those people are loved ones, and they're interrupting you. You're trying to do things for your work, and they're like, honey, do you want me to make soup? And you're like, yeah, I want you to make soup. No, wait, what kind of world am I thinking about? I've been watching some things that would make you shout on the YouTube. Actually, I've been watching Flintstone theme parks.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
There's more than one Flintstone theme park, apparently. Yes, the Flintstones were that big, and there was one in Canada, one in
Mike's
Arizona,
Daily
one somewhere in Montana.
Podcast.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Barney. That's a... Barney. I can't. Barney. Hey, so taxes aren't due until what? Like June sometime? Oh, cool. I just heard back from somebody. I am working at home. Folks, it is fascinating working from home because, well, I basically just didn't even do anything most of the day. But that's all right. I'm paid hourly, and I didn't clock on until I actually did work. I'm an honest dude, and I really didn't want to do anything today. I did watch these ridiculous videos, like the birth and death of Astroworld. Apparently, that's a Six Flags over Astroworld in Texas. That's a big thing. Oh, Kathy Griffin. I always say Griffith. Dang it, it's Griffin. She has unbearably painful symptoms, and she could not get a coronavirus test, but she is like, I have COVID-19, I couldn't get a test. And this is something we have heard. Heck, I said it on this podcast a couple weeks ago. I had a cold, and I didn't even get a chance to... Meanwhile, James, because I wanted to get tested, and it turned out I had to do this whole thing where...
And here's today's podcast picture.
I had to contact my doctor, so I did that. It's so easy to do these days, to contact your doctor and just go, hey, here's what's the situation. I had a cold. I would like to get tested just to be on the safe side. What say you? And I hear back, because she was on vacation, actually. I hear back from her staff, and they say, you know what? If you have, if you are totally showing symptoms, come on in. But until you actually are showing real COVID-19 symptoms, the whole stuff, fever, because I didn't have a fever. I did have a cough. And Basil's fine. Basil's like, what? Why is Mike home all day? That's fascinating, huh? Nice guy, Mike. Hanging around me. Meanwhile, James Dyson. Hello, I've made a new vacuum cleaner that is really good for your house and will suck it up the cyclone air. He has now built the Dyson, the British technology company, designs and manufactures household appliances such as vacuum cleaners, air purifiers, hand dryers, bladeless fans, heaters. He now is making 15,000 new ventilators in 10 days to fight the coronavirus pandemic fight. Thank you, Trump. Thank you for not helping. No. I love okay, it's Trump bashing time unless you're looking at the stock market and going, it went up. That's because of Trump. And the stimulus thing, whatever. I know he's trying to do speeches and he's given us a lot of, and then he gets criticized because of the fact checking. You're like, whew, that's wrong. I've whistled several times on today's show. Whistling past the graveyard makes us so happy. Hey, so many people are going to have long hair. Not yours truly. That's not even in the picture. But so many people are going to have long hair because they can't get over to the barber. And I'm Haley Barber. And thus, we will have long hair as a society. It will be the 60s and 70s all over again. So exciting. Also, my lovely lady friend pointed something out. We talk about the coronavirus regularly, and she loves it. that I'm home more, so because our hours are pretty much opposite of the day. I get up early, get to work early, and now that I don't have to get to work early, although I think some people at work want me to be at work, even though there's no reason for me to be at work. And hey, I thought you wanted me to be safe and I'm indispensable, and what the heck? What do you want? Conflicting. That's all you are, is conflicting messages. Anywho, don't pass it on. That's my little statement for you today. Don't pass on the coronavirus. Oh, so my lovely lady friend says, what if you and I right now have the coronavirus and we don't know it? She goes, I've gone outside. I go, I've gone outside. And we're like, we've both been outside. I mean, it's apparently air droplets and you can catch it that way. I don't know. Cafe, I don't know. Cafe anyway. So what is it? Do we have it? And is it at some point going to be, you know what, everybody's going to get it? I think Gavin Newsom said 60% of Californians are going to catch this. Oh, sorry, we just had an earthquake. Speaking of California. But Cafe anyway stood up. Hey, but it's still here. Look at everybody here is staying at least 6 feet away. Heck, we're adding an extra foot to stay the heck away from each other. That's good. Hey, you know what? This podcast sounds a lot better because I didn't get up at 4 a.m. Oh, that's a hard shift to get up at 4 and you know, oh, it's tough. And I've got this dog, Basil the Boxer. Macron of France says he and Trump are preparing an initiative on the coronavirus. Oh, the Indianapolis 500's been delayed till August. You've heard about the Olympics. There was this issue where in a New York City hospital, at the center of the crisis, 13 coronavirus deaths in 24 hours. The Elmhurst Hospital. So, yes, it's serious. I get it. I know I was anti-alarmist at the beginning, and I still am anti-alarmist. You have to have the right facts and get your facts from multiple sources to corroborate your facts and get the real story. Don't get it just from me. Outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Hopefully not getting any coronavirus droplets. But I'm going to stay healthy, even though I'm not being very healthy right now. I haven't walked in a while, and I've been at home all day, and I think we're going to get fat as a nation. And we're getting a little bit irritated by our loved ones. The Daily Show, what's it called now? The Daily Social Distancing Show. The guy was talking to one of his correspondents named Des, and she was like, oh yeah, I'm at home with my son, and he's driving me crazy. Hey, make me a drink, she says to her son, and Trevor Noah's like, no, what? Huh? Have you seen that yet? Have you watched Defunctland or Yesterworld or Matterhorn Matt? Because you're obsessed with Disneyland like I am, but I'm not obsessed with today's Disneyland. I love the old Disneyland. I was watching this thing called Disneyland at Night, and it was Walt Disney in 1962. Remember, he died in 66, or was it 65? He died not too long after this was filmed, and it was on TV. It was then shipped to Europe and watched in the theaters because it had so many famous people in it. It had Louis Armstrong, as some people call him, Satchmo, and there was Annette Funicello, because she was all big with the whole Mickey Mouse Club. And what's funny in it is that he's trying to talk to the audience. Oh, well, hello there. Welcome to Disneyland. Yes, you know, my favorite time of day is when I come over here and walk around the park and see people. Oh, Mr. Disney, can I have your autograph? Why, sure. Anyway, Mr. Disney, can I have your autograph? Yes, okay. So, anywho, Mr. Disney, and he's trying to talk, and this happens through the whole thing, and it's funny to watch Mr. Disney just getting sidetracked with all the autographs because he was that famous. Meanwhile, James Taylor and his wife donate $1 million to help Boston Hospital battle the coronavirus. Oh, and there was, I think, is it Bayer or Bauer? They make visors for the hockey players, and since the hockey season's been ended, They are now making visors for the people in hospitals that are working on saving people with the coronavirus. Protective visors. They have now changed their... I just love how businesses are changing things and adapting. And there's also a guy, a California man, who looks like a complete putz. He claims to have developed a coronavirus cure on his verified Instagram account. And, well, he got arrested. Keith Middlebrook is his name, 53. Charged with 1 count of attempted wire fraud. Jeez. That's the thing, is watch out for scams. Anybody who's trying to push anything to you, like, hey, I can get your property taxes lower because of the coronavirus. Don't give them any information. There's so many scams out there. My lovely lady friend sent me an email with all the scams. And I do not have that in front of me, but it is very much... Oh my gosh. I have it right here. Yes. There's the questionable DIY hand sanitizer recipes. Forget that. The herbal remedies and supplements claiming to fight COVID-19. Look out for those. Drinking water to kill the virus. That ain't going to happen. Latex gloves for virus protection. We saw a guy today doing that. People who can't get a hold of a face mask, which remember is not foolproof, are now reaching for latex gloves, but there's no proof they provide any protection. The novel coronavirus cannot be absorbed through the skin. It can easily hang out on the gloves and reach all the areas where you can contract the illness, your face, eyes, and nose. Latex gloves are also not sturdy and rip and tear easily. When people wear them, they get tears in them, and people don't even realize they got tears in them. And it gives people a false sense of security. Don't worry about getting packages from China. Keeping a coronavirus intact is no easy task. Once the virus is outside the body, the clock is ticking, and the amount of intact virus drops. The amount of intact virus drops pretty quickly. Okay. The virus may survive only about 2 to 3 days on surfaces. It takes much longer for your package to ship from China. This is all according to, by the way, the Huffington Post. Also, using SBD as medicine, that is not a way to fight the coronavirus. Although the CBDVs, cannabis byproducts, drugs, is that what it stands for? CBD eases the anxiety levels. There isn't enough evidence yet to prove major health effects. Plus, the compound isn't regulated by the Food and Drug Administration. So do your research and ensure you're buying from a reliable source. And don't panic, folks. That's the first words you see on the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Don't panic. And this is from the HuffPost, a article written by Julia Reese. So that pretty much does it. But you know what? We have to say hi to some people outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcaster Valleyton, the last place on earth. And you can go to mikesdailypodcast.com to see the podcast pictured today, which I will tell you about in a moment. But yes, who is out here right now? And did you enjoy the Wave Crest Beach picture I had last time? A lot of people liked it on my Instagram. Instagram.com/Mike's Daily Podcast. Look who's here. Hello, Michael Master. It's Madame Rootabega, and I love fighting the coronavirus with lasers. Pew, 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 pew. Ooh. Thank you, Madame Rootabega, for doing that. I don't know if anywhere in this article it doesn't say anything that lasers stop coronavirus, but... Yes, Michael Master, I am so powerful. I can kill the coronavirus with my eyes. Ooh. Do you have laser eyes? Yes. Do you never ever get sick? Yes. Are you going to help Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson get better? No, they're already better. Oh, that's right, they got better. Okay, good. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the King and Dang Ding.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, congratulations on having FF episode 2004 there.
Yeah, 2004. Do you know that? That wasn't very good. Sorry. Do you know that There you go. Yes, whistling past the graveyard. That's what we're doing. Trying to not freak out. And trying to... I think I slept in a little too much today, actually. Whew. Feeling a little too rested. Possibly. Okay, the podcast picture today, we're going to go back 9 years ago. 9 years ago, back in time. No, that's too far back. Let's go back 3 years ago. 3 years ago. We'll go back 3 years ago. And this podcast picture is of the beautiful Benicia. Oh, I miss Benicia. I have not been back there in a long time. By the way, the bookstore in Benicia is open. If you want to help them and not give money to Amazon, which seems to be price gouging. Why would you want any Amazon products anyway when they're price gouging? Idiots. So you can see this wonderful picture of the little coast beach area at the end of their main street. I think, what is that? Oh, what is that street called in downtown Benicia? First Street. Thank you. Over by the First Street, Benicia Beach and Pier. See that at mikesdailypodcast.com and call me and tell me how you are doing with this whole coronavirus. I might tell you this, and I must tell you this, that someone who works as a therapist has been saying that there is a lot of anxiety and people are snapping, people are cracking, and they're popping, and they got to stop and just take a deep breath, and this too will pass, and you'll get through it. People have gotten through it. Just be good to yourself, rest, stay calm, do not stress. We're going to get through this, okay? And whistle past the graveyard, and you'll be past the graveyard before you know it. Next show, I don't know what that ended in a dark way. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the engineer.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!